very respected Kedar sir and all my dear friends. A very good morning to all of you. I take this opportunity to say that I am a very proud prodigy of Kedar sir. Thank you very much sir for guiding us and still guiding a lot of people. Thank you very much for that. And Srinivas sir, at the outset I should tell you something. Srinivas sir was very generous in saying that I've been consecutively getting 200 plus in my interviews. But let me present the facts. So far I have attempted 5 times, and the first 3 attempts were serious attempts, and the last 2 were basically casual approach because I was in service and I had my own commitments. It was a casual approach. In my first interview I got 130. 130 out of 300, which is a very meager score. My second interview I got around 290 out of 300, almost 73%. And the third attempt I got around 200 out of 300. Fourth and fifth were basically 163 and 175 out of 275. As I said, it was a casual approach. See, I feel that I'm a better person to speak about, to speak on this platform today to address you, not because of my consecutive success, rather because I have tasted both failure as well as success. My failure was, I got only 130, which pulled my rank down. Almost, I was topper in mains for Karnataka, from Karnataka in 2009 when I wrote. But because of my downgrading marks in interview, my rank was pulled down to 333. And as I said, I was so confident I had applied only IAS and IPS and I did not apply any other services. So I did not get any service. In my second interview, it was like this. Anyways. So with this, I think, I'll be able to explain to you what to do, what not to do and what to do. I'll be sharing my mistakes as well as my strategy which led me to success. Okay. So let me begin this day with a small story, very small story. This was told to me when I was in a college. He was a person, he was working in Karnataka government and he actually, he had the opportunity to select a person for a post. So he told me there were 2 individuals, 2 candidates, and there was only 1 post. And almost both the candidates, in terms of knowledge, in terms of ability, and in terms of efficiency, and in terms of whatever may be the criteria, they were same. They were similar. But there was only 1 post. So the interviewer had a very tough time because he had to make a choice of only 1 out of the 2. Then the interviewer discussed with other panelists and then asked a simple question. A simple question for which they were assured, the interviewers knew that the candidates could not answer this question. So obviously they asked, and the candidate A said, "Sir, I don't know." And candidate B said, "Sorry sir, I don't know." So I'll come back to this, and the person who said, "Sorry sir, I don't know," got selected. I'll come back to this at the end of my interactive session. See, today I think you people have already gone through many of the transcripts, and you might have already gone through many of the tips in the internet regarding how to prepare for UPSC interview. So you have a very broad idea, or let's say a brief picture about how to prepare for UPSC interview. So here I'll be sharing my experiences, but let me tell you, my dear friends, keep it simple. Keep everything simple. Don't complicate your strategy. Don't complicate your preparation with respect to personality test. Basically, they are going to test your personality. So what is meant by personality? You should understand, you should have a clarity of what is personality. So any one of you, what is personality? With this we will approach what to study, how to study, what are the traits to exhibit in interview panel and other things. So what is personality? Let us have a clarity on this.
The way we communicate.
The way you communicate, yes, one of the traits. Then
enduring characteristic of how you think, how you behave and how you speak.
How you behave, how you think, how you speak. Then
Attitude.
good.
attitude of Bengi, sir.
Absolutely. So personality is basically a combination of all this. Your attitude, your behavior, your thoughts, your views, and how do you communicate your views, how do you analyze the situations, your aptitude. Personality is basically a combination of all this, and all these traits are going to be tested in the personality test. So you should be ready for that. So let me now see, today I have trifurcated my approach in the sense, the session will be trifurcated like this: what to prepare, how to prepare, and what are the traits that you should exhibit during the interview session. So the first question is like, what to prepare. What to prepare, basically, I have got 5. First one is your biodata. See, biodata, as the sir said, basically it contains the details about you. It's like an ice-breaking session for them also. So they will be, see, you are a stranger to them. So they need to have a point where, you can do, the interview can start and where you can also connect to the interviewer. So biodata provides that opportunity. It's basically an ice-breaking session for them. I mean, a model or a point for them. So biodata gives a complete picture of what you are to them. So prepare on biodata. Biodata will be having your education, will be having your background, history about your background, your interests, and so many things. So prepare on the history of it. Suppose if you have studied in a college, I studied in Vijayanagar, so they were asking me about Vijayanagar, dynasty Vijayanagar Empire. So even a smallest thing of your biodata will make a huge difference. They will be asking questions on it. So prepare about the history of each and every word which you have written in biodata, and also the nature of it, and also the prospects of it. So suppose NSS, as sir said, you should take each and everything in a very serious way, on a very serious note. NSS, they will be asking, I was asked actually, like what is the motto of it, and yesterday we celebrated Swami Vivekananda's Jayanti. So what was the correlation between NSS and Swami Vivekananda? That was the question asked to me in my second and third interview. So each and every aspect which you have written in biodata has a relevance, and please prepare on that. That is very important. Then second thing is brush up your graduation subjects. Sir was asked about physics. I was asked about my history, economics and literature of Kannada language, which are my graduation subjects. And same is the case with others as well, like physical, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, medicine, whatever may be the background. You should have a basic understanding, they expect. You should have a basic understanding of your graduation subjects. So kindly brush up your knowledge about it. And third one is your optionals. So you might have taken Kannada literature or any optional for that matter. So again there will be a questions. In my second interview, actually majority of my questions were from my optionals only. Public administration and literature of Kannada language. Majority. And this happens with other fellows also, other guys as well. So they will be asking questions on your optional, so be thorough with your optional subjects as well. Then, fourth point is current happenings. Be it local, national, global or international. So you should be aware of what is happening around you, which is nothing but your GS. Right? So you have prepared for GS, for mains. And the same way, a little more different approach towards your preparation is required for interview. I'll come to it when I say how to prepare. So a little understanding and emphasis on current happenings. And the last one is with respect to situational based questions, approach. What to prepare on. The last point is situations. As sir said, they'll say, you are the DC of a particular district. How do you approach women empowerment? How do you approach the child labor? How do you approach a communal unrest? Developmental issues, so many things. So you should develop such questions to yourself and then try to answer. Try to develop answers for such. And these are like spontaneous. See, for the other four, you can prepare. Whereas the last one, situation-based approach is there, where they require you to answer spontaneously. So that That requires little more practice than the other 4 points. So basically, under what to prepare, these are the 5 broad areas where you need to prepare. The first one is your biodata. Please work on your biodata. Please. Then second one is your graduation subjects. Third one is your optional subjects. And fourth one is your, current happenings. Current happenings, the GS portion. And the fifth one is situation-based approach. So these are the 5 broad areas where you are expected to prepare for interview. Then next comes the question, how to prepare. So now you know what to prepare. So which are the areas you have to focus upon for interview. Now the question is, how to prepare. This is where the difference comes. This is where you stand apart from others in saving time, in saving energy, in saving resources as well. How to prepare. See, biodata is there, and then your brushing up of your optional subjects and degree subjects are there. No, these require basically you need to jot down so many questions. Write down. What are the expected questions based on your, let's say you have filled up, I am an RD cadet in NCC. I have participated in RD cadet as an RD cadet. So what does it mean? What is an RD cadet basically? What is NCC? What is the motto of NCC? What is the history of NCC? All these things you need to raise questions. You need to jot down questions on each and every aspect of your biodata, and then brush up your degree subjects and optional subjects. And then comes, for these 3 things, not much of a preparation is required, except jotting down and asking so many questions amongst yourself. But for emphasis on current happenings and situation-based questions, a different approach is required. I would like to share my experience. See, situation-based question. Let's take the example of yesterday's incident, where the 4 Supreme Court judges have come out in open and addressed the media, addressed the nation against the Chief Justice of India. So this would definitely be a question. Suppose if it is going to be an interview today or tomorrow, this would definitely be a question. So what would be the question basically? Whether it is correct or not. Whether it is morally, legally, ethically on the part of judges to come out, whether it is correct or not. To come out in open and express their difference of opinion or express their displeasure, discontentment against the system. So you need to develop a stand. You need to take a stand. For these kinds of questions, the answer will be either yes or no. Either you should say yes, what the Supreme Court judges did was correct, or you should say no, what they did was absolutely not acceptable. These are the 2 kinds of answers that they expect. But here you need to have a balanced approach, a balanced, structured approach is what is important in such kind of a situation. So how do you develop it? How do you develop it? How do you prepare on such topics? Any idea? So now anyways, the topic has arisen now. So how do you develop?
Different perspectives.
Anybody?
Different perspectives.
Different perspectives, right. From there?
Have a discussion
Both sides. So you need to have the perspectives of both the sides and try to get it from different modes. See, there is a column in newspaper called Letters to Editors. Letters to Editor is a very, very important, sort of an article in a newspaper. You should not miss it, because that is the place where people will come up with a difference of opinion on a particular topic. So you will be able to appreciate, you will be able to you'll be able to identify the different perspectives, difference of opinion. Then you should go through all the different, so the for and against of a topic will be there. You go through different points and develop your synthesis, thesis and antithesis, and then develop your synthesis. Right? So in a way, this is the methodology that you should adopt for all such debatable issues. And I will go through the debates and discussions in Lok Sabha TV and Rajya Sabha TV. See, usually people, for interview, they spend most of their times on watching TV debates and discussions and reading newspapers. That is okay, that is one part. But basically, you need to, that the thesis and synthesis should go on, the thought process should go on should go on inside in your mind. Don't spend too much of time on reading things. Rather, just read it. Then think too much. Think. For personality test, you should think too much. Okay, let me answer in this way. Yes, what they did was correct. So I have to substantiate. I need to have my stuff. Think about it. Take a stand. It would be a better, if you can go for a structured, balanced approach. But take a stand and stick to it. Justify. That is what is required. And then, as I said, don't just read. Don't just read. Please try to invest most of your time on thinking. Take up a question and then think about it. Then start forming opinions and justify your stand. So this is required for current affairs. And then situation-based questions. Situation-based questions, how do you prepare? See, you must have come across so many transcripts. This was the strategy which I adopted. What I did, there was a website, at that time, there were blogs when I wrote in 2009, 10 and all. So we had blogs where interview prep for UPSC, where people used to come and post their transcription. So take those transcripts, which is a combination of basically all sorts of questions. So take those transcripts and sit in front of a mirror and answer as if you are being asked. As I said, there is a question. You are the SP of a particular district, and suddenly a communal rot is flared up. So how do you handle it? This is a question. So you should think. By practicing this, I tell you, you will gain a lot of confidence. You will gain a lot of confidence by practicing this. So with respect to how to prepare, as I told you, basically for the first three things, biodata, optional subjects, and your graduation subjects, brushing up is required. Jot down the questions, as many questions as possible, and then develop answers for it. And with respect to the current happenings, watch debates, discussions, letters to the editors, and then form an opinion. Take a stand, justify it. Situational based approach, read the transcripts, try to get as many questions as possible, sit in front of a mirror, answer. Think, and answer. Okay? So this is with respect to how to prepare. Then comes the traits. See, I will tell you the most important aspect of personality test is basically to exhibit your traits. Sir was telling for 60 to 70% of the question, I don't know, was the answer. But how do you say it? That makes the difference. Whether you are confident in saying it, or if you lack confidence in saying it, that determines your destiny there. So you are aware that all your knowledge, ability, efficiency, everything has been tested in mains and prelims. So now they want to know whether you are capable of leading a team, whether you are capable of having a vision for the country, whether you are capable of taking other persons into contact, into confidence, and then develop a team and then execute the projects. These are all basically your personality traits. Like whether you have the communication skills, whether you have the interpersonal skills, whether you have the leadership, initiative skills, visionary skills. These are the questions, these are the skills and traits that are going to be tested in interview, not about the knowledge. So whether you exhibit this, whether you have this, that determines your score in interview. So I have two important traits. Because of it, I got 219 and 200. I can tell you openly that I did not do it exemplarily, or I did not do anything extraordinary in my interview. I was very, very confident. Two things, two traits. Please have confidence first. Second, have clarity. Clarity with respect to interview is not alone. Clarity in life itself. Whatever you do in life, whatever you do, whether it is good or bad, let us not get into it because good and bad, right and wrong have got relative importance or relative meaning, you can say. Okay, but we should have that conviction. We should have that clarity in what I do. If that is there, I think that is it. You can justify your stand in front of anybody. So have clarity, have confidence. These are the two important traits. The other traits I'll come to you, but these are the two important traits. So let me discuss with you guys about confidence. What is confidence? What is confidence? You people talk about confidence, right? What does it mean? Anybody? Believing ourselves, very good. Stand by the decision, very good.
A form of stability in thinking.
Consistency and stability in thinking, correct?
A form of knowledge.
A form of knowledge. Whatever you said is correct. Whatever you said with respect to confidence is correct. Basically, confidence is the belief in you that yes, I can do it. That is the confidence. See, if you don't have confidence on you, who else will have? I cannot have confidence on you if you don't have. And even if I have confidence also, it's of no use. Because I cannot perform on behalf of you in interview, no? So you should have that confidence. So be confident. Be confident, please. Whatever you say, be confident. I know that there will be jitters. When you sit in front of the room, before you are called in, there will be jitters, there will be butterflies in your stomach, everything will be there. But that should not hinder you, that should not pull you back from being confident. So be confident, guys, please. So confidence is something, which determines your day on that day. I'll share my experience. Rajkumar Academy was a panel member. Her board was there for my second interview. So I had given, basically I was 22, 23 years old when I was actually when my second interview, when I gave my second interview. So at that time I was looking like a school girl basically. So what I did, I had given a photo of my college days in prelims as well as in mains. Right? But somebody told me that you look so child that they will not be selected. Then what I did, okay, I should somehow make myself look like an adult, So what I did, I grew my mustache. And I was going through all this transcripts of all my colleagues. So at that time, what happened? Rajni Razdan had a different approach altogether. She was the only panelist who was asking for photo and asking whether it is you before the interview begins. She was the only panelist. So I knew. So I thought that okay, in case if I get this lady, so let me guard myself. Okay, what I did, I took a photo of my recent Varna and then put it in my pocket. Then went to the interview. As expected, madam called me and told me. She went through my photographs and she looked at me. There was huge difference. She asked me, "What is this? Is this you?" "Yes, ma'am, it's me." "Don't look like." "It's me." "Do one thing. You don't look like." She was not so polite. Don't think that she was so polite. She was rude around. Just to test my ability to withstand the pressure. Okay. So then she said, "Okay, I'll do one thing. You don't look like this. Let me stop the interview here itself. You go to some nearby photo shop, and get your latest photos, and then I'll commence in the evening," she said. And suddenly I stood up and then I took my recent photographs and then gave it to her. "Madam, would this be okay?" She went through it. She saw, "You don't look good in this photo. That is why you have not given." "Okay." Then she said, "You sit," and the interview continued. And afterwards, she asked me so many questions. So many questions in the sense, one or two questions related to my biodata and one question related to Taj Mahal. So I was confident enough. That's it. These are the only two questions, and this incident fetched me to 19 marks. You believe it or not? Because afterwards she was busy. She was busy in eating snacks. and she was not even bothered about what the other panelists were also. I mean, that was my observation. She did not bother about what the other panelists were asking because she had an impression that yes, this guy has got the confidence. And the same thing happened with respect to Purushottam Agarwal board also in my third interview. He asked me only one question: who is your favorite author? I said, Sir Shivaram Karanta. Then why not Ananthamurthy? I answered that question. Afterwards, he left the interview, went inside, and did not come at all. He didn't come at all. The other panelists were asking questions. At the end of it, he came and then he asked one or two questions and that's it. End of it. I got 200. So basically, what I want to say is, you should have the confidence. You should be like brimming with confidence, and that should come out. And the other person should identify you. As such said, basically, it is a test where your capabilities are tested. No, like you will be selected as a bureaucrat, and you will have to handle so many things. Whether you have got the confidence to handle such things. If you don't have, then it's of no use. So that is why your answers are immaterial there. To the extent possible, immaterial. They don't bother much about it. Rather, they bother about your confidence. So once again, I stress on this aspect of interview. Please be confident. Then second thing is clarity. I hope you must have seen some of the interviews of Jaggi Sadhguru. Have you seen?
Yes. Yes.
The clarity with which he speaks. Forget about his history or whatever it is, or other things. The clarity with which he speaks is worth emulating. He has got clarity for everything. Whatever you ask, he has got clarity, and then he says it. Don't you think that that impresses you? The person who is sitting next to you, if he speaks with clarity, definitely it impresses. So have clarity. Suppose if you are asked a particular question and if you answer it with a lot of clarity, that itself is sufficient. They don't discuss whether it is right or wrong. With respect to this, the recent example which I gave, with respect to Supreme Court judges, if you answer with clarity, that itself is sufficient. They don't go into it, whether it is right, wrong, true, false. No. So have clarity of thoughts. So how do you develop it? How do you develop confidence and clarity? Okay, now we have understood that yes, confidence and clarity are required. How do you develop it? Analyzing. Then rationality, good. Then
Think positive.
huh?
Think positive.
Okay, thinking positive, good. Other side, that side, how do you develop confidence and clarity of thoughts? See, it's a learning process. Nobody can say that, I have complete clarity of what I do. Most of the times we are confused. Most of the times we will be confused. So how do you develop those traits? Huh?
Sound judgment and evidence.
Sound judgment and evidence. Definitely. So whatever you said, all these things are required to develop confidence and clarity. But again, the basic ingredient, what I feel is practice. Practice. Practice makes man perfect. So if you practice on a particular topic, on a particular issue, and that because of the practice it becomes a habit, and that habit becomes your regular nature of personality, regular attitude of your personality. So practice things in order to have clarity. So that thinking process should go on whenever you travel in a metro, whenever you travel in a cab, or wherever you are there. Just take a topic, think from argue from both the positive and the negative side, that is for and against, and take a stand. Then have clarity. When you have clarity, confidence comes automatically. When you have clarity, confidence comes automatically. So concentrate on these two important traits are developing. I try to develop these two important traits, and then the other things are basically your humbleness. Sir was giving the example of Faruqi, who got 211. Even after coming out of the interview abruptly, he got around 211. But don't take him as an example. It is an exception though. Okay, because the panelists and the members, those who are sitting, they're all very highly educated, highly capable persons. They'll pose questions just to identify whether you are capable of withdrawing the pressure. Whether you are able to handle the pressure or not. So they'll pose such risky, such pressurized questions. But take a stand and stick to it. But be humble. That humbleness should come out. I'll tell you why. Because, see, I don't know, but I have spent around 7 to 8 years in government systems now. Suppose if somebody addresses me when I'm on duty, suppose if somebody addresses me as Ashwin, somehow I get wild. That is because some sort of egoistic attitude has developed in us, whether we like it or not, some sort of egoistic attitude. So what I'm trying to say is that they are all highly, we may disagree, but what I feel is, they are all highly educated and, not educated, no, highly educated as well, but highly experienced people who worked over a period of time and who have seen thousands of people like us. So some sort of will be there, so we need to respect it. Not to respect the ego though, but rather to respect the knowledge, experience, and efficiency they have got. So be humble in your approach, be polite in your approach, that itself is sufficient. See, there is a difference between, I told you in the beginning of a story, sir, I don't know. Sorry, sir, I don't know. What is the difference? About the culture. See, we are coming from a culture, where we respect elders, where we learn to respect elders, respect the vulnerables, respect the downtrodden people, right? Less opportunistic people. So that is the quality we have got. So, as sir said, ours is basically a service. So the service mentality should have respect and empathy for the poor people, and that is also will be checked, and that will also be checked in the personality test. So have that humbleness, have that respect for the people who are sitting in front of you, and then some of the important things is like these are like gestures, body language in interview. Body language, how does it matter? I told you about confidence. They are basically looking for confidence. So body language is one of the way of expressing your confidence to the other person. Right? So sir was telling hello to voice over. It's such a pain actually to listen to such very meager voice, ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Friends, I tell you, I have also been part of like in my department, I evaluate the answer scripts of my inspectors and tax assistants. Don't think that it is an easy job. Don't ever think that it is an easy job. It's very, very, very difficult to evaluate because the same questions, you get monotonous, you get bored sometimes. So that impacts actually, that affects my evaluation also. Basically, we are all human beings. So there is an element of subjectivity. Suppose if the handwriting is not good, assuming that I'm tired and handwriting is not good, then I'm not going to check the veracity of it. Simply on the basis of some assumption, I will be evaluating. I know that it is not to be done, but this is the human element involved in evaluation. And same is the case with your interview as well. I have been part with such grace, I have also been part of many mock interviews. By the time it comes to 5th or 6th candidate, we feel somewhat sort of, again, monotonous, boredness will be there. Can't help it. So, it is your responsibility to make your interview much more lively. So you can make it lively. And if you speak very eagerly, and if you are like disinterested, not so interested in your approach, then what does it mean? What does it convey to the other person? It doesn't convey well about yourself. So for the sake of formality, there are some questions and then the average marks of 130, 140. If you analyze the marks of interview, you can see majority of the persons will be getting the average marks of 40 to 50, 55. Suppose if you have to score more than 60% of the marks, basically you need to make yourself, you need to present yourself. Sir was telling about this. There is a difference in giving one by one and there is a difference in giving all put together, tied it in a very presentable manner and then giving it to you. ಪಾನಿಪುರಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಪಾನಿಪುರಿನೇ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂಥರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ಣು ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಖುಷಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ತಿನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಖುಷಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅದು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಾಡಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಯುವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಸೊ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಹೇಗೆ? ಐ ಟು ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್. ಐ ಟು ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೀ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ make my eye contact your eye, then if I looking at it like this, then what does it mean? Basically it shows that I'm not interested. So what I suggest you is, whenever a question is asked by a panelist, then 60 to 70% of your eye contact should be on that person, whereas the remaining 30 to 40% is there, no? You ensure that that 30-40% of the eye contact will be on others as well. Because some 5 to 6 people will be standing, will be sitting next to you. So if you are contacting only one person, that shows that the other person, he feels that he has not been considered and he will think something else. Suppose if he is within quotes egoistic person, then again it will be taken in a different note altogether. Suppose if he is not, but again if you don't considering him, if you don't consider him, again that will also be taken in a different way. He thinks that okay, this person is talking to the other person, why should I bother? Chairperson, say I'll tell you, chairperson has got your final marks. Ultimately, see, after you leave the interview hall, marks has to be decided. Chairperson discusses with other panelists and then whatever he says finally it will hold good. So you need to catch the attention of your chairperson of the board as well, interview board as well. So ensure that whenever you speak to during the interview, whenever you speak to the panelist, ensure that 60% of your attention should be on the person who has asked the question and 30 to 40% of the attention should be on the other panelists as well. Then gratitude, like see, whenever, suppose if somebody comes and gratitude is a very good virtue, right? It is a very good virtue. Which should we'll also feel happy. Suppose if I have helped somebody, sir must have helped many people. Suppose somebody comes and tells him, sir, because of you I have done this, he feels happy. How do you know? So on even ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, whenever during the interview you will be asked questions for which you may not be knowing the answers. Aga they'll only tell you that this is how. Then if you express, thank you madam, thank you sir for the information, I'll get informed from now onwards. Like this if you say, that shows a sort of gratitudeness. These are all basically the personality traits which will impress the chairperson. So idನ್ನ ನೀವು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ the last point is this: pause. What is pause? So many things, Question is asked. If you start answering one after the other, again, that doesn't give a good picture of you. It will be taken as a talkative person, or like you will also go out of the track. Answer to the point. To the point answers are very much important. Suppose, like if the other person, if you feel that the other person is somewhat not interested, then you stop it in between. Then wait for the other person to ask the next question. In that way, you will also be giving opportunity to the panelists to ask as many questions as possible. So if so many questions are asked, it is an opportunity for you to answer, so that your multi-vivid personality will come out. And it is easy for the panelists also to judge your personality. If it is only some 2-3 questions, then it is difficult. So pause. And even apart from that, before answering any question, try to pause for a while. What does it mean? Don't jump to the conclusion. Suppose even if you know who is the President of India, even if you know also, pause for a while, think about it, structure your answer and then present. So what do they feel basically? Yes, this person is not like, jumping the gun. He has got the ability to think about the situations and then answer. Otherwise, what happens for some of the questions which you know, you will be answering quickly. For some of the questions which you don't know, you will be taking a lot of time. That again sends a wrong message. So, take time to answer your questions. So these are the broad areas, in interview. And if you have, I would like to have some questions from you so that, would be nice. Anyway, Sir is also there. So, you would be able to answer your questions. With this, I will conclude my session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashwin. I should share a personal experience. I've been in Delhi for quite some